Okay, so we really wanted to help students have a holistic understanding of energy. Um, and so we had three questions that guided their capstone this year. We asked, what is a growth area for equitable energy in your community? What is the role of engineering design in identifying technical solutions? And what is the role of community engagement and education in this initiative? Um, and we ask these three questions because we know that the most complex issues in our world are really interdisciplinary. Um, so, yes, we want them to get the STEM technical skills, but we also want students to know how to engage other stakeholders that are necessary for finding clean energy solutions. So, we invited them to learn from community partners who are doing energy work in their communities. And we also wanted students to understand and practice engaging their broader community. So we invited them to do an educational outreach event either with younger students or with their peers. And then the goal of the showcase was to see how students integrated those three capstone aspects and really synthesize their learnings to understand or to demonstrate understanding of holistic clean energy solutions.
Right. Yes, because engineering and science is not just about technical skills, right? It's also about the engagement that Danica has just spoken about. And so we want them to realize that as they go out into the world, it's going to be more than their technical knowledge. It's how do you work with people? How do you search for information, critical thinking on your feet, and how do you articulate this information to all different types of audiences? So this whole interdisciplinary approach was something that we did and would like to keep going with that kind of model moving forward as well.
And one of CEI's goals is to support the next generation of energy leaders and innovators. And this really requires everyone. And so we wanted to make sure that everybody has access to STEM educational opportunities, especially as it relates to clean energy. Um, and so this is part of the reason why this project was really aligned with CEI's goals.
Right. Yeah, and definitely with MESA's goals in really building this pipeline of STEM all the way through, because our programs run from sixth grade all the way through university and beyond as students go on. Some will go to grad school, some will go into the real world. They'll get some of these research skills. They'll get some of the skills that they're going to need out there. So I think the through line was to really help them to see the different areas in which um, they can explore, in this case, clean energy and adapt those skills as they go through. I think for us, the community building piece was really key for the college level students because they tend to sometimes do work in isolation where their centers are located or maybe do joint trips together. But here was our very first pilot opportunity to bring all of them together and be able to do this work across the state for 9 months. It was a nice long ongoing thing that we could actually build and build and build on. And at the end of it, they got to know each other. So when they transfer or when they go into the real world, they actually get to know people from outside their Mesa Center or college. So that was one huge benefit of this. I think partnership building in Mesa is such a huge thing. It was such an honor to work with Danica. I've known her for some years, and just to be able to come together and do this project, and through all the ups and downs, because there are things we learned along the way, the things that went really well. We've learned a lot, and I think that we can use this model moving forward in different disciplines. But it was such an honor to be able to start it off with her. So that was fun, and just so proud of our students across the state, our directors who helped to support this. And as I mentioned, our stakeholders, really just giving them all the kudos for just making this happen because it takes a village to get this kind of project to happen.
And it was an honor to work with MESA, Dr.
Mhm.
Lindi. I think from my perspective at the Clean Energy Institute as an invited partner, um, to be able to share the cutting edge research in clean energy and access to that research and the exciting things that are going on with your community was a huge benefit. And I really appreciate working with Washington Mesa because you have such um, expertise in community building, supporting young students, diverse communities, and it. Um, I learned a lot from working with you, and I think yeah, together we just created a stronger pilot than maybe either one of us would do on our own. Um, I think also a lot of the directors and myself included were really blown away by what the students did, and so I think this your vision for a capstone project and an experiential learning project for your Mesa transfer students and university students just speaks to like giving students access to um, rigorous opportunities. Um, yeah, and we'll see what they do next.
Yeah, and I love your grad students and how they because they're closer in generationally, to our students. Our students were able to kind of see what they could be in the next season of their lives, which is really so cool to see. And then the Mesa students, as they shared ideas with each other, one team from a center would say, "Oh, we're trying this in our design. Maybe you could try this." They shared ideas across the board with each other. So I want to also just acknowledge that. Danica, along with her 5 grad students, 6 of them actually overall, were able to really help us to put the meat into this framework, in terms of the expertise they brought in the seminars and all that. And so the students really benefited from these grad students' stories, experiences, and expertise shared in the research they're doing, which was huge. They asked some really great questions, and it really drew their interest in this area that many students are not aware of out there. Or have chances to dig as deep. Ultimately, what they have gained also is a stepping stone to now going out to apply for paid internships after that, and sort of building on these skills and this interest.
And from CEI's perspective, this was, um, I think, really aligned with our goal as a Washington state funded institution, um, interested in, well, our mission is to accelerate the adoption of scalable and equitable clean energy future. Um, through partnering with Washington Mesa, we were able to reach students across the state, and we don't normally have access to some of these community colleges that they're working at. So it was exciting to be able to connect with students. One really cool aspect of this partnership was that we also support here at University of Washington graduate fellows. And so our graduate fellows who are doing cutting edge clean energy research were able to support some of our sessions. So 5 of our students were able to work on their capstone through this Washington Mesa capstone.
And that worked out really great. And I want to give a shout out as well to all the public utilities in the local areas where we encourage folks to go and do informational interviews because they really came to the table in such a supportive way. And then also the schools that some of the folks went out to, and also their fellow MESA peers to whom they delivered these workshops. So yeah, that was also another added benefit. Our university programs in MESA are also coming up to do similar capstones soon, and we'll look for other partners beyond that. So nice to be able to have started off with those ideas within our office environment and bring it out into who have we worked with before, who would be a great partner to just also give a heads up to them.